guys, TheAirsoftTech here, and today we're going to be talking about Sorbo versus faucet washer. Both faucet washers and Sorbothane are used to correct angle of engagement. However, Sorbothane does have a dual purpose, but the difference between the two of these is their hardness. For those of you who are not familiar with Sorbothane, let's go over it. Sorbothane is reminiscent of a sponge. It squishes and compresses, but is tougher than sponges. It has a dual purpose, to correct AOE and to reduce the much stress on the front of the gearbox shell. Its squishy and compressive properties make it ideal for shock absorption, hopefully preventing the shell from cracking. On the other hand, we have faucet washers. Faucet washers are solid, circular chunks of rubber that do not compress in the least bit. It too is used to correct angle of engagement. Though it does help to dampen the impact on the front of the shell, it doesn't protect the shell anywhere near as well as Sorbothane does. So which one's the best? Let's run some tests and find out. The inherent flaw with Sorbothane is that it has a reset time. Allow me to demonstrate. As you can see, our AOE seems to be pretty much perfect, right? Well, guess again. Allow me to install the spring. As you can see, once we've installed our spring, our AOE changes. Now, this can be taken into account and adjusted for, but when the gearbox is operating, the piston is essentially acting as a jackhammer on the Sorbothane, brutally crushing it with every cycle. The problem with this is that AOE changes with each cycle due to the compressive properties of Sorbothane. This can cause premature wear on the piston or sector gear, which is obviously not desirable. Now, let's move on to the faucet washer. Faucet washers are solid, so they don't compress at all. So compression, as you can tell, isn't an issue here, and our AOE will forever be fine. Allow me to demonstrate. I'm installing the exact same spring. As you can see, our angle of engagement has not changed at all. However, this comes with a price. Faucet washers are innately less absorbent of energy. Sorbothane is designed to absorb stress. Faucet washers, not so much. So when using faucet washers, remember, you won't be taking as much stress off the gearbox shell as you would with Sorbothane. So, which is better? In my experience, faucet washers are better. Reason being, because gearbox shells are getting tougher and tougher, and with modifications like radiusing and parts like STSs that help to drastically reduce stress off the gearbox shell, shells rarely break. Pistons, however, that are affected by Sorbothane aren't as tough and have few modifications to make them tougher. That being said, all the stress should be placed where it can most easily and reliably be handled. In other words, on the shell. Now, I'm not saying Sorbothane sucks and that you don't need it in your gearbox shell, which is true, you don't need it in your gearbox shell, but it's not the greatest thing that you'd want exactly either. In my opinion, faucet washers just last longer and they help to reduce the stress on the gearbox shell pretty well, in addition keeping the AOE on point. So I typically find myself using faucet washers almost always. I do, however, use Sorbothane and the faucet washer combo on DMRs and balanced setups where reset time is, aplenty. Now, I'm not saying Sorbothane sucks and that you don't want it in your gearbox shell, because it's a good thing to have in your gearbox shell, but you don't need it. Faucet washers can really do just about the same thing. They correct angle of engagement, and they do dampen the amount of stress on the front of the gearbox shell, just not as well as Sorbothane. I typically find myself using the faucet washers when it comes down to almost every build I do. However, when it comes down to DMRs and balanced setups where reset time for the Sorbos of abundance, I'll use the faucet washer and Sorbothane combination, putting the faucet washer on front and the Sorbothane right behind it and then the cylinder head. This reduces stress and gives it plenty amount of reset time for the angle of engagement. Alright guys, well that's it. I hope you found this video informative, and not to mention a little fun. I'm TheAirsoftTech and this is my channel, where I upload videos on the mechanical topic of airsoft teching. Just remember, you techs out there, stay tuned.